Today's news. Azadlık Editor-in-Chief's petition rejected. Hearing of human rights defender sued by police, close to conclusion. Flood sparked problems discussed in countrywide forum. Newspaper editor says that he will walk to Armenia with his son. Penitentiary Service Justice Ministry sued.
Court hearing on the petition filed by the editor-in-chief of Azadlık Daily, Ganimat Zahid, was summed up in Yasamal District Court on September 16th. The hearing was presided over by Judge Khagani Tagiev. The judge rejected the petition. After the hearing, the editor-in-chief told Objective TV that he will appeal the decision. Zahid filed a petition for the early removal of his conviction. Zahid was convicted under Articles 127.2.3, hooliganism with intentional infliction of minor bodily harm, and 221, hooliganism, of the Criminal Code, and was sentenced to prison for 4 years. On the 17th of March, he was pardoned under a decree signed by Azerbaijan's Republic President Ilham Aliyev. Azadlık newspaper has been established since 1989 and operates as a daily newspaper. On the 16th of September, in the Yasamal District Court, under the chairmanship of Judge Khagani Mamadiyarov, a hearing was held on the special format lawsuit brought by 3 members of the Goychag Regional Police Department: former Police Chief Vugar Mamadiyarov, Chief Inspector for Administrative Prosecutions Bakhtiyarov Hashimov, and Investigation Department Chief Rufat Abayev, against the Assistance to Defense of Democracy Public Union Chairman and Human Rights Defender Vidadi Isgenderov. The judge postponed the hearing as the representative of the special plaintiffs, Alirza Abilov, did not participate in the hearing. Isgenderov requested the judge to not prolong the hearing and to ensure participation of the plaintiff's representative in the hearing. Then, the judge scheduled the next hearing for the 23rd of September at 3 p.m., and said that even if the special plaintiff's representative did not participate in the next hearing, a decision will be passed. At the beginning of June, Mamadiyarov was dismissed from his post at the Goychag Regional Police Department, and he was then appointed as the chairman of the State Road Police Shirvan City Registration Examination Department. The plaintiffs believed Isgenderov insulted them in the article entitled "Police Got a 3,000 manat bribe from me," that was published in the Azadlık newspaper on the 2nd of April. They filed special lawsuits against him under Article 147.2, slandering by accusing someone of grave or especially grave crimes of the Criminal Code. The Kur Civil Society Organization, with the financial support from the Open Society Institute Assistance Foundation, held a countrywide forum on the problems sparked by Kur floods, current situation and solutions, in the Landmark Business Center on September 15th. State agencies, representatives from the civil society, and representatives from the affected villages attended the forum. Tehran Information Agency Director Mehman Aliyev said that in the aftermath of the floods, beginning in May 2010, over 20,000 houses and 110,000 hectares of farming lands and pastures had been engulfed in water. As a result, people, households, educational and financial institutions, and infrastructure suffered significant damage. The floods were a result of ineffective management, he said. Mehman Aliyev also said that the preliminary investigations by the civil society institutions revealed that the problem stemmed from the lack of cleaning of mud from the Kur and Araz rivers, lack of dam building measures, lack of reparations to the water reservoirs not currently being used, and inefficient use of recovery funds. Economic analyses show that about 1 billion manat was spent from 2005 to 2010 for the building and management of water industry systems, but no work has been done, he said. 300 million manat was allotted from the state budget for recovery from flood damages by parliamentary decision. The Kur Civil Society Organization conducted monitoring in 2,200 households in the flood zone and made a separate report for each household. The police fired the monitoring group from the flood zone on August 25th and didn't allow the monitoring to continue, said Kur Civil Society Organization Coordinator Oktay Gulialev. Communication and Information Technologies Ministry Representative Novruz Mamadov told the forum that compensation funds were sent to 5,403 people by Emergency Situations Ministry via post office. 99% of these compensations were delivered to the address of destination. Compensation could not be delivered to 266 people. 22 of them died. There were mistakes in names or surnames of 126. 77 addresses were not clear, and 9 refused the compensation. Melioration and Water Industry Joint Stock Company Representative Abdurrah Hajiev spoke about the recent dam building works. He said that 3 million manat had been allocated for dam building and fundamental repair works. Dam building measures have not taken place since 1988. Only in recent years have funds been allocated for this. With internal funds from the company, we carried out dam repairs for 32 kilometers in Sabirabad and 68 kilometers in Satli, he said. Representatives of the local community who attended the event said the situation in the disaster zone, as well as the social conditions of the people, were miserable. They noted that there were law violations in the distribution of the compensation, and in some cases, houses were constructed for those whose houses were not damaged. The villagers also revealed the people's need for seed and agricultural equipment and emphasized that the ecological situation was awful. Newspaper editor-in-chief says that he will walk to Armenia with his son. On the 16th of September, in the press center for the Institute of Reporters' Freedom and Safety, Nota newspaper editor-in-chief Sardar Alibeyli conducted a press conference on the problem of his deaf and mute son. Fakhraddin Alibeyli, who is 18 years old, was disabled from the time he was born and has received 50 manat pension from the state each month for 10 years. After he grew up, he was deprived from this assistance and demanded that he be examined by the Doctors' Commission to determine disability. According to Sardar Alibeyli, the Doctors' Commission that determined the degree of disability advised him to place his son in a psychiatric hospital in Mashtaga and receive a necessary reference from the hospital. When I see my son, it is known that he is sick. Why am I forced to go from door to door? Sardar Alibeyli asked, expressing his anger. In order to get this 50 manat, I have to walk door to door. They send me to different places. This child has been in this condition for 18 years. I will allow 10 days for the government to solve my child's problem. I will take concrete steps after this period is ended. I will wear a covering together with my son and go to Armenia. This is my objection, said Alibeyli. Alibeyli is sure that there are political reasons against him. I suffer from injustice because I have criticized the government, pointed out Alibeyli. The press council presented Nota newspaper as a racketeering press. Alibeyli was sentenced to 4 months in prison after the special lawsuit of 4 generals of the Internal Army prosecuted Alibeyli on the grounds of insulting their honor and dignity in 2009. He was released in February of 2010. On the 16th of September, in the press center of the Institute for Reporters' Freedom and Safety, the initiative group from the Rights of Prisoners for Early Release conducted a press conference. Group coordinator Rasul Jafarov said that they had begun the implementation of a project relating to prisoners' rights under early release, which cost $5,000 USD. The first stage of the project involved the education of prisoners. The initiative group appealed to the Penitentiary Service of the Justice Ministry to hold trainings for the prisoners. However, their appeal was rejected. The ministry did not respond to the group's inquiry of the number of early released prisoners. The Penitentiary Service said that the ministry has held trainings for the prisoners. Also, a public committee consisting of public representatives contacted the prisoners while they were imprisoned, so the group was not allowed to contact the prisoners. Prompted by this response from the Penitentiary Service, the group requested assistance from the public committee. As for the inquiry of the number of early released prisoners, the Penitentiary Service refused to respond, claiming the information was a state secret. The group representatives declared both cases to be violations of the right to obtain information. They filed a lawsuit at the Yasamal District Court on the grounds of the rejection to respond to the inquiry. However, the group has declared that it is still operating, and a hotline will be available for prisoners' relatives. The group will conduct a training for relatives of prisoners who are interested in freeing those in prison. With the relative support, the group can take the case to the European Court of Human Rights. In addition, if the relatives launch court proceedings, the lawyers of the group will provide them with legal assistance. The project Social Initiatives to Ensure the Rights of Prisoners for Early Release, financed by International Bridges to Justice, is also carrying out these activities.